It's time to make the floor for our doghouse. So to start out, we're going to build from the bottom up, just like you would traditionally do. It's called balloon framing. When you build a platform, then you build on top of that platform. So in our floor system, we're going to need a rim joist for our floor joist to attach into. So you can see our floor joist going to our rim joist, and then our subfloor, which will be our sheeting, our OSB sheeting, will go on top of that. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the dimensions on our doghouse are 5 feet by 2 feet 6 inches, which is 30 inches. So we need to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to hold in shift and pan a little bit. I'm going to click in my scroll wheel or middle mouse button and rotate till I get kind of a look. I'm looking down right here. Then I'm going to come to the left and choose my rectangle tool. I'm going to click on the origin and just click and let go. If you hold in your clicker, when you let go, it's going to automatically make it that size. You don't want to do that. You want to click and let go like that, and then make it the right dimension. So in the bottom right, if you look, it shows our dimension. Right now it's 2 feet by about 9 feet. And we want it to be 2 feet 6 inches, which is 30 inches. So if I type in 30, comma, 5 feet. Now you could do 5 in the foot symbol, which is just left of enter. Or you could just do it in inches. I'm just going to do 5 feet. Enter. So now we have our 3 feet by 5 foot base that we're going to use later. So let's go ahead and extrude this. So use a push-pull tool, click and let go, drag up in the direction you want it to go. Our plywood is going to be 1/2 inch. Typically you do 3/4 inch tongue and groove for a floor, but since this is for a doghouse, we're going to just go 1/2 inch, so 0.5. Or you could type in 1,2. Either of those would work. So it looks good, but it doesn't look like wood, it doesn't look like sheeting, so we need to fix that. Go up to the top left to your select tool, click and hold and drag a box so you select the entire thing, and then go to your paint bucket tool. On the right you're going to get some options. Click here on the browse. We want it to be wood, so it's alphabetical. Go all the way down to wood. And the bottom left is your OSB, oriented strand board. Click on that, paint it. Okay, I'm going to go back to select tool. I'm just going to kind of click over here. I'm going to hide this for a second. I'm going to click and drag a box over this. Now we need to make this a component. We need to combine all the entities in here. We need to combine the paint, we need to combine our lines, our extrusion, everything into one solid board. So I'm going to right click, say make a component, and we could just say OSB flooring. Well, this is our subfloor. OSB subfloor. And you could put the dimensions too. You could say it's a 3 foot by 5 foot OSB subfloor. Typically the more descriptive you are, the better, so that you don't go back and try to find it and forget what it was. Okay, there's our subfloor. You can move it by clicking on the move tool. Kind of move it out of the way. Now we need to make our other components. So we made the subfloor. We need to make our rim joist and our floor joist. So click on the rectangle tool. We're going to make a board. So click on the origin and go up the blue axis, and then kind of out to the right. I'm going to hold in shift, I'm going to pan, and then going to rotate by clicking in the scroll wheel. I want to look down the board like this. Make sure I'm going up the blue axis and then out this direction. Alright, so this board, we want it to be, well, actually, let's do it this way. No, this way would be good. Okay, so look at it from this side. Click, go up the blue, out the red. And we want this board to be a 1x4. So 1x4 is actually not a 1x4. A 1x4 is 0.75, so it's 3/4 of an inch, comma, 3.5. Enter. That's what a 1x4 truly is. Now we want to push pull that. And this one is going to be 5 feet. So 5, the foot symbol, which is left of enter. And do enter. Okay, I'm going to click on my scroll wheel and rotate. Now I'm going to select the whole board. Go to the paint bucket. So I clicked on the select tool, drag a box over it. Paint. This one we want to be a wood grain board. They don't have pine on here, so we're just going to click on this one. It looks like a cherry. Close enough. Looks like a wood board. Now you can right click on it, say make a component, and it's a 1x4 by 5 feet. And we could say this is our rim joist. The nice thing about this is after you've made one, you can just duplicate it. So I'm going to right click. There's a copy option up here. Right click on it again, and then there's a paste. And I don't know why this menu stays up, but you can move it out of the way. Okay, I'm going to first click where I want it to start, right here. Well, I actually just pasted it there. So now if we want to, we can move it. So go to the move tool, click right here on the origin and move out. And we want it to be 2 feet 6 inches from end to end. So actually, let's do something else. I just hit escape. Let's make us a little marker to shoot for. So over here on the right, there's a tape measure. Click on the tape measure. Click on the left edge of this board and drag to the right and type 30. Enter. What that did is it gave us a little point out here of 30 inches because we want this to be 30 inches wide. So now what I can do is I can click on the move tool and I can click on the far right corner here. I can bring it over and I can actually snap it to that. So now if I were to measure this from outside or endpoint to endpoint is 2 feet 6 inches or 30 inches. Okay, so we're almost there. Now all we need to do is add in a couple more boards, which are going to be our floor joists. So we just made our rim joist. Now we just need to make our floor joist. So I like to draw them in the way they're going to extrude. So I want to extrude it out that way. So I'm going to look at it from this direction. I'm going to zoom in a little bit right here. And then I'm going to do the rectangle tool. Rectangle tool. I'm going to hover over this endpoint. I'm going to go out to the right. And I'm going to click. That way I know it's lined up with that. So once again, I'll do that again. If you hover over this and go to the left, you'll see a little green dotted line. That tells me that that is in line with that. So I'm going to click and let go and just drag up like that. And this is a board that is 3.5, comma, 0.75. And now I can extrude it in that direction. So to figure out the length that this board needs to be, we can either just take this measurement from inside to inside, or we can do some math. So you can do 30 inches minus 0.75 plus 0.75. So what's 3/4 plus 3/4? Okay, so that's 1.5 inches. So you subtract 1.5 inches from 30, or you can click the dimension tool and click on the two insides and it will give you that measurement. So it's 2 feet 4.5 inches. So I'm going to go click on the extrude, select this face here, drag to the left, and I'm going to type in 2 feet 4.5, or you can do it in inches, which is 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.5 inches. So 28.5. Enter. Then I'm going to look at it from the side, clicking my scroll wheel and orbiting. Do the select tool. Make sure I drag a box and select everything there. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint it. I'm going to right click on it and make it a component. Actually, before I make it a component, I want to, it selected this dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and click off for a second and delete that dimension. It's kind of in my way. Then I'm going to select it again. Going to right click, make a component. Just for time's sake, we're going to name this one floor joist. We won't do the dimensions on it. And now I can put it in place by clicking the move tool. This one, it's going to be easiest to click on this outside corner and snap it to this inside corner. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here and go to the next video, and I'll show you how to do the rest of this.